Yeah, that's me. You may be wondering how I got into this situation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Oregon, the Beaver State. Let's get started. So basically we drove up while eating pretzels drenched in MSG. I saw a Dollar Tree. And then we went into KFC, where I saw my evil twin brother. And we were the only ones in there for some reason. Eventually, after a while of driving, we were in the mountains. It was quite beautiful. And then we saw Mount Shasta. Eventually we got to our first stop, which was a motel in a town called Dunsmuir, which apparently has the best water ever. The place was quite nice. It had bunk beds, and a nice view, and a nice bathroom. And there's me. Also an old refrigerator. Anyways, let's test out this water. We had burgers while looking at the scenic views. Then it was beddy by time. I woke up that morning and it was quite nice, and I saw some doggers. We ate breakfast at a place that was a disassembled train, which was pretty interesting. I had eggs Benedict and got the sauce all over me. It was delicious though, and the area was pretty nice. On the way up to Oregon, we passed through a town called Weed, also known as the best place on earth. Look at that guy. He's probably smoking weed. We also saw a sign for the weed store, which we needed to visit on the way back. We drove through the middle of nowhere. We eventually got to Oregon. We then got to Albertsons. It was brought up that the owner's name was Tanner. Anyways, we went into the store and continued forward after eating some ice cream. I got some chocolate on my pants, so it looked like I had taken a crap on them. We drove past a giant lake that went for miles and miles, until we eventually got to the place. It was on a ranch, and there were cows. The internet was terrible. There were a bunch of terrible signs and decorations from Dollar Tree, where I guess Tanner shops. I don't understand what it means to soak. My favorite one is this sign. And then there was this weird clock that was unreadable. Like I think it's 7:53, but I can't tell. We had some fajitas, and I got some cinematic photos during the sunset. There was also a tiny frog that came in through the crack under the door, and we called him Lil Timmy. In the morning, it was all smoky outside with all the fires. It looked so weird with the cows and the smoke. Then the power went out, so we decided to go to a place called Crater Lake. It was a very giant and beautiful lake. And yeah, that's it. But apparently, the power was out there too. We then went on to a trolley touring around the lake, where we had forgotten to bring food and water on. There was snow there for some reason, despite it being up to 90 degrees. And to put into perspective how giant this lake is, this is a boat of 50 people. But yeah, it was a very pretty lake, and I got sunburned. When we got back, Tanner came over to water the plants. Then the next day was the last day at the place. I had to say goodbye to the cows.
Bye bye Tanna'S house.
But it was fine because we were going to Weed. This wasn't just a place that happened to be called Weed. They fully embraced it. I got a weed sign, which I'll hang up on my wall. It was a very beautiful place. Okay, let's hang it up.